All right, folks, good morning. Okay, let's get started. So for today, December the 10th, we have the following information. We already had, the NFIB Small Business Index that came out at 6 a.m. Eastern. Not a major report, came out better than expected. All day we'll have OPEC meetings. Not sure that could possibly affect the stock market, but we'll see. And at 8:30 a.m., we'll have revised non-farm productivity quarter over quarter. We had revised unit labor costs. Neither were important reports, but first came in as expected, and unit labor costs quarter over quarter came in softer than expected. That's it. So that's all the economic data we have for today. Nothing major. Taking a look at the markets, the QQQ ETF. Yesterday, action was more bearish than not. Started off fairly neutral, but got somewhat bearish after that. And as of right now, it looks like we're going to open slightly higher than where we closed yesterday. As far as stocks yesterday that we identified, let's see what we got. As far as stocks yesterday, Apple was bullish. It was able to reach our target number 2 to the upside of 245.44, then continued to trade up to above 247, trade up to a high of 247.24. We weren't able to capture all of that for the room, but we did capture a good portion of that, so no problem. And that was it. All right, so as far as what's moving in the pre-market, I do have some stocks. Let's just go through them quickly. First up is AGRI. That's not up enough, so never mind. Let's see what else we got. BNZI. Okay, that one definitely qualifies. This is currently up about 55% on over 3.7 million shares, at least $1 per share. So this qualifies for our pre-market watch list. So um, we'll add BNZI to our pre-market radar for stocks. All right, next up we have CPIX. That's currently up 136% on about 53.5 million shares, and it's trading above $1 per share. So we'll add that CPIX to our pre-market watch list. Next up, we have CRDF, which is presently up 54% on 18.5 million shares, at least $1 per share. So we'll add that to our pre-market list. Next up is GELS, currently up about 27.5% on 2 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add that to our pre-market list. Next up, we have let's see. Let's take a look at LDTC. That's currently down 8.72% on 4.3 million shares roughly. It's at least $1 per share. That qualifies. So we'll add LDTC to our list. Next up is NAMS, which is currently up 38% but falling after being up. It's up. It's traded at least 1.3 million shares, over $1 per share. Shares are trading higher after the company announced top-line data from its phase 3 Broadway trial. Okay, so I guess the phase 3 drug trial came in okay. We'll add NAMS to our pre-market list, and we'll see what happens. Next up is PCSA, which is presently up 26.5% on about 12.5 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. We'll go ahead and add that PCSA to the pre-market list. Next up is, let's see, that doesn't qualify. Next up is QURE, presently up over 90% on 13.3 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. So we can go ahead and add that to our pre-market watch list as well. Next up is RGTI. Nope, that doesn't qualify, so we'll pass on that. So next up is SOUN, which is currently down 6.11% on 2.7 million shares. It's at least $1 per share, so we'll go ahead and add that to our pre-market radar. Next up is SXTP, which is presently, nope, only down 2%, so that doesn't qualify. It was moving a lot more earlier. TRNR is next. That currently is up 24%, 9 million shares, at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add TRNR to our pre-market radar. All right, so those are all the stocks that I currently see that qualified that we've just added. So if you folks see any other stocks to meet all 4 of our criteria, let me know in the chat, and we'll go ahead and take a look. 4 criteria are: must be a NASDAQ listed stock that is at least trading at $1 per share in the pre-market session, must have achieved at least 1 million shares of pre-market volume, and at least a 6% price change, positive or negative. So any other stocks besides the ones I already mentioned that meet those criteria, let me know in the chat. All right, so Jen mentions a few. So CRMX. CRMX, CMRX, sorry. That is currently up 171.68%, 22 million shares, at least $1 per share. Yep, so we can add that, CMRX. Sorry, I had the order wrong. Okay, CPIX is mentioned. That's currently up 130%, 54 million shares, over $1 per share. But I already have CPIX on the list, so that one we already got. We already have CRDF, GELS. We already have LDTC. We already have. Oh, sorry, looking at my list. My bad. Sorry, accidentally was looking at my list. That here is PBM. Okay, that currently is up 28% on 13.2 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. So we will add PBM to our pre-market list. All right, next up, DTCK. That's currently up 18.74% on 15.8 million shares, at least $1 per share. Yep, that qualifies. So DTCK is added to our list. AKYA is next. Currently up over 14%, over 3 million shares, at least $1 per share. Yep, that qualifies. So AKYA is now added. VRAR is next. That's currently up over 27%. About 4.7 million shares is at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add that to our pre-market list, VRAR. And lastly, TIGR, which is currently down 6.69% on 1.6 million shares, and at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add that. All right. So we'll go ahead and wrap up for today's pre-market pulse. Please be sure to like the video. Let's see, we have 6 likes, more than 6 people watching. So please be sure to hit the like button, which greatly helps us with the YouTube algorithm. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you get notifications. And if anyone's watching this on a replay and not familiar with our company, check out fundertrading.com, our website. You'll see a link in the description to this video. Other than that, for everyone else, I'll see you in the coaching room in about 20 minutes, and we'll pick up for today's session. Other than that, folks, I'll see you for tomorrow's pre-market pulse. Have a great trading session. Take care.